going to call the meeting to order. There has been a change to the agenda. The agenda is updated with the change in it. And that is, we are looking at a presentation, a very quick one from Medibus, which is for a letter of support. So that is not on the computer, but it is on the paper. Okay, because they met with Gordon Wilson today, and they need this before the 21st. So anyway, we will look at that time. So I'm going to call the meeting to order. I'm going to ask us all to pause to seek guidance. I'm also at this time going to ask, actually for 2 minutes, to think of our veterans at the same time, and just to be respectful and think of who's fought for us, who's still fighting for us. So 2 minutes. Thank you. Seems like the longest 2 minutes in the world when you're sitting there waiting and thinking.
Sorry,
it can be really quick.
Just was acting up and it just came on. Sorry.
That's all right. I mean, those things happen. I really appreciate it. This is not the normal of 2 minutes, but I felt in reflection of Remembrance Day it was very important. Before we add the adoption of the agenda, I would like to make an addition under new business, and that is the concern of Central Dispatch for TIR. I'm saying, would someone like to approve the agenda as amended?
You want to add something?
Yeah, I was just hoping that I did go to the don't do all these things at meetings thing, which actually is probably the most valuable thing I've ever gone to. List of behaviors not to engage upon, but I'm just too excited. I would really like to hear just maybe a quick rundown of how you guys did with the Ocean Energy Conference.
Okay.
I'm just last night I was just all night for a couple hours. I couldn't get to bed.
We were going to do that at council, but we can highlight a little bit.
We can do a brief here, and then we'll do a more in-depth.
Yeah, I'm just so excited about it, and I'm just so pleased with how everything's going. I just really like it here now. Sorry.
We will put that under old business, actually, wouldn't you say?
Well, no, we can go 8.5.
Okay, under new, because it wasn't new. It's a
new
report.
information.
Yeah, new information.
Thank you, guys. I know I'm not supposed to do that sort of thing.
So would someone like to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. At this time, I would like to ask permission for Medibus, Jennifer Murdoch, and Constance Day to come forward to speak to us.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. You both can just grab chairs and come up to there.
Table.
Everything is being taped as we speak, just so you know, and it's going out to whatever you call it.
Well, thanks for having us.
The intertubes.
you know, YouTube, all that stuff. I don't know, like the cloud, I guess. Is that the cloud? In the cloud.
Well, thank you, Warden, and thank you, councillors, for having us here. I do want to also take the opportunity to thank you very much for the support you've given Medibus over the last year and a half. It has not gone unnoticed, and we really appreciate it, and so, of course, to our clients, so thank you very much. We're here very briefly, and thank you, Warden, for inviting us, to simply give you a very brief update. Medibus over the last year or so has been working very, very hard to bring services back to the people of Digby since we had our successful pilot project. And in that time, we've had lots of opportunity to talk to folks, and most recently today, speaking with Gordon Wilson. And what we're looking for today is a letter of support, some commitment and support to have us come back. Your support is really important to be able to articulate that back to the decision makers of this province. So that really is the purpose of us being here, and again, I thank you for that opportunity to ask that of you. Connie, did you want to add anything?
No, I'm just in agreement with Jennifer of your support that you've given us over the last year and a half, probably more. I think it's vital that we have the support from the community, like as a whole, to bring forward further discussions with the powers that be. So,
And that you have a meeting coming up.
Yes, we do have a meeting coming up near the end of the month. We've been invited back to further discuss the opportunity to have a pilot for evaluation to see how mobile primary health care in communities that are underserviced and in rural parts of the province would work. And again, we would just be very thrilled, and it would be a privilege to be able to come back and serve the people of Digby County and surrounding areas.
Yeah, Maritza.
Who are you meeting with at the end of the month?
Department of Health and Wellness.
Okay, so all
The
the problems
21st.
that you had, and that you had to kind of step back, I realized what was going on. Has that been straightened out, or if you do another pilot project, do you start again with the same kind of things? Or?
Yeah.
actually, we've kind of went back to the board, and we've been revising some of our plan, some of our business plan, and how we want to go forward. And we've come up with a different blended model that, you know, would be very, how do I say it?
Well, I just think that what we're looking at is recognizing that we had the challenges, as you pointed out, and we also had some real successes too. So I just want to acknowledge that, and to be able to go back to discuss further how we would best be implemented, re-implemented. You know, so those are the discussions that are going to happen. But I think what's really pertinent.
We've just made changes, and
Yeah.
those changes are good changes, and they're going to be a good thing for Digby and surrounding areas.
So, but the billing thing was the big stumbling block, wasn't that?
Well, there were certainly some challenges in terms of the way the MSI preamble is currently stated, absolutely. But there are other ways in which we might be able to sort of work with the existing parameters, as well as working with government. So we're trying to sort of come back to the table on that.
So it sounds positive that they want to go back to the table. They
The fact that
realize
we've been invited back, I
Yeah.
think, is a huge thing, Councillor. And I, you know, certainly as the person here representing a larger team behind me, we are very, very thrilled. And really, we have a spirit of wanting to collaborate and partner and work with government and work with the community, not in competition, but in collaboration.
And the community definitely needs you. And
Well,
when
thank
you were
you.
here, that was really important. And, you know, I'm sure lots of people missed when you kind of.
Yeah, but I think this is a community that has really shown a great deal of resourcefulness, and you've got so many great things in place already, and if we could just come and humbly add to that, maybe augment some of those services, it would be a real privilege for us to do so. So we just look to you for your support in the form of a letter, which would, I think, help bring that spirit when we do go back to government, that we aren't doing this on our own. We do have, because we really don't want to be where we're not.
And it's not a competition, it's a
No.
compliment.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I agree.
Do you have any questions, Councilor Tudor?
I know that the constituents in my area very much value your service, and it's really glad to see you guys keep on trucking. You guys got some endurance and toughness, that's for sure. So let's hope it works out.
Well, thank you
Very much so.
Deputy Warden?
Yeah, only one question. When you said letter of support, but you said commitment and support, what are you looking for the municipality to provide you as a commitment going forward?
To welcome us.
Oh, that's, okay.
And the other commitment was when we were in a meeting this afternoon, I said that I would bring it back, but I didn't see any problem with them still using our parking
that's
lot
fine.
Oh,
and
I think
electricity.
No,
that
of
is
course not.
so generous.
Yeah,
I think
thinking
that,
out
I was
loud.
going to
That
add
was the other part of the commitment.
Yeah, the
that you
commitment.
had.
I just wanted clarity on it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't think there'd be any hassle from council, but, I said
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, even when you say up is up, you say that's just my opinion. I'll have to talk to the other councilors.
If there is no other questions,
I'll make a motion that we draft a letter of support for the Medibus. Well, not draft, but to submit a letter of support to the Medibus to the province.
is there a seconder? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. Jeff, if you want to take a few minutes with Jennifer to see where we need to send the letter and all that stuff.
It could, if you were comfortable, I mean, it could come to us and we could bring it forward, or it's entirely up to what's most appropriate for you.
We'd usually send it to you, but like who you wanted addressed to and
Oh,
all
fair
that
enough,
type
yes,
of thing.
okay.
Or actually, how about on Wednesday?
Yes,
You call Jeff.
sure, whatever works for
Or
you.
Jeff
And
can
I
call you.
appreciate it, because I know you probably
'Cause
got the agendas
Jeff
mile
gets
long.
to draft the letter.
Don't let the intimidating mustache get in the way. He's actually a really nice guy.
He's getting ready for Halloween post next year.
November.
Oh, November, that's it.
November.
November, yeah.
Yeah. If you could give me a call Wednesday, that would be great.
Thank you very much, I'll get your.
And do we have a paper we could give her with a number on it?
That's
or-
okay, I will. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
your time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
More the merrier.
So our next, there is nothing under dangerous and unsightly. The next is approval of the minutes. The Committee of the Whole minutes of October 14th were distributed in the package.
So
Is there
moved.
any, okay?
I was going to wait to see what Jimmy always seems to miss things I don't. Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. Old business, business arising. David?
I'm okay. I'm still working on a couple of little strings on the funding for the project in Tiverton.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to explore a couple possibilities. Absolutely. I want absolute no's before I come forward and try to put together a larger package.
Okay.
Yeah.
Martha?
Is there some kind of a schedule for the LED replacement? Did we finally get one?
Terry and I had a meeting with the company, and there's just been a few setbacks. Looks like it's going to be completed now in January.
Is that a long time thing, or is that
Just because
longer than we thought?
it's a little longer than what we thought. Yeah, we thought we'd have them done.
By now.
Yeah, just going a little longer.
But have they started?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking though. Is there
Oh.
some schedule? So if anybody calls me and says, my light's out, it's been out, 'cause there's about 15 to 20 people who had been on a list originally, and then we were gonna do them first, and then they said
And
no.
that has changed.
Yeah,
They're
I
gonna do
knew
it in
that,
groups.
but I'm just was
And
wondering.
Jeff?
Yeah, I think, along with what the warden said, some of these other challenges impacted that other schedule in relatively significant ways, I think is a fair statement. But yeah, I think there was a meeting last week, and we're getting back on track, and some
Okay.
certainly
Just-
are.
It was in the minutes, it just made me think about
And,
it.
Yes.
I will tell you, I am very, I'm trying to think of the proper word, but the company that we're working with are very, very professional.
D&M,
They're just,
What was the name of the company again? Sorry.
Black and McDonald.
They're very, very nice and very professional, and they're doing everything they can to get it. There's been some roadblocks.
Okay.
Okay. Anything from you, Jimmy?
No, I don't have any.
And I don't. Okay, next, oh, we're going right lickety-guns
Ooh.
here. New business. Town of Yarmouth requests Joint Highway 101 Task Force. Which,
The merrier, I think. They want to get the highway done.
So, as you can see, that that is the letter requesting that they come on to the,
There's a couple
Task
other
force.
ones below it, I think.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the main gist. Jimmy?
I'm really pleased to see that they were actually reaching out to us and asking to help sit on this committee to, see the completion of the highway. I think the more municipalities that get involved together and treat this as a regional project, the better it is. And I'll put it on the floor. I'll make a motion that we send a letter to them accepting them on that committee.
And I would, in our letter that we send, we'll suggest that they pick whichever representative they wish.
Mhm. Yeah.
As a council member. Is there a seconder?
I see that as Maritza second.
I'll second it.
Just to say, I think maybe in the content of the letter, just say what Councilor or Deputy Warden Julian Calpine said, how pleased we are to see them reaching out to us. I like that. Like, say wonderful. Maybe there's other things we can work out. We're totally open. Maybe
Yes, and then with Yarmouth County.
maybe use it as a little bit of a wedge
Yeah, I know.
They're not reaching out.
for greater area cooperation. As we all see,
Well,
cooperation gets us
Yeah,
lots.
we will come up with a nice letter.
All right.
Thank you very much. Jimmy?
In the letter, I don't know if it's appropriate or not, like, they'd have one voting member, but would it be also appropriate to invite a staff person like their CAO if they wanted to? Because I think, do we not have staff?
Yeah, we have the CAO, the deputy, comes.
Either
along
or.
with- And then we have our staff member who is the secretary
Mhm.
or the recorder. What do you call when you're at our meetings, Pat? Are you the recorder or the secretary? Okay.
But does
I
like,
had it at these kind of
but
committees.
does the District of Clare and the town of Digby also have their CAOs? Okay, so I was wondering if it'd be not appropriate just
We
to,
can bring it up, yeah. I mean,
put the,
the
let
CAO
them
on
know.
to attend.
A
Yep.
warm welcoming.
Can I just make a comment?
Yes.
Between us and them is
Yeah.
Yarmouth County.
That's, I think, that will go out that they've joined us.
Mm,
That's what I'm saying. Should we copy it to them perhaps?
well,
No, that'd be kind of
No.
presumptuous,
Just
maybe. Yeah.
I think we go with,
All right.
Hope they notice.
well,
All right.
anyway. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. The next is the Nova Scotia Municipal Affairs, the new federal gas tax program.
I
ahead.
I think that this is really moving forward in the right direction with the opening of the program, allowing us to use the money in a lot of other ways other than how we've been restricted in the past.
Mhm.
And I think, I don't think we could get much better than what it is, like what they're asking for. The only one thing is that what we're going to have to do is we got to do a needs assessment of what we have. Asset management. We have to do the asset management on our current infrastructure, and that's something that federal government's going to be asking from all the municipalities across Canada. I know that that's something that they've been very adamant in wanting to have information on. So that comes right out of the FCM.
Does money come from that?
No, you have to do it.
But a lot of it we have done,
Yeah, I know.
because we just did everything
For
here
the
a few years ago when we got ready, when we were doing our 20-year plan.
I don't think it would be too hard for ours to be updated. I wouldn't think. Because, I mean, it's not like we're a huge unit that has complex infrastructure. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. We know the lifespan, or the life of all our sewer treatment plants and the sewer treatment lines, so we know what the life expectancy of that is, so we could, rate each one as to what's left in the life expectancy of each plant. And our bus is brand new, and
Should we make a motion that the staff that continues along our assets and engage?
Yeah.
Also, the green,
Here's what we will do. We will ask staff to, we won't put it as a motion, I don't think, but we will ask staff to do as requested by the FCA. Give us an update on what's happening.
can we not make a motion, though, to say that we would like to have staff work on an asset management plan to comply with the new federal gas tax program?
Certainly.
Okay, I'll make that a motion.
There's that. Right.
Did you get that, Pat?
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried.
I have a question for Jimmy, if it's okay.
Yep.
Deputy Warden, do you see these changes as being something that would be useful for furthering our green agenda, I guess, or whatever you want to call it?
Yes, there is the opportunity there to use monies for renewable energy projects as well.
Excellent.
The way I read it, anyway.
Hmm.
Okay. Our next is the King's Transit possible route changes. Okay, Jeff?
I know there's been some discussion around this issue. I was contacted by Stephen Foster last week before we left for
Stephen Foster is...
The manager.
Manager at King's Transit.
Sorry,
yeah. And they were going to explore some options with a business in Deep Brook for a new transfer point. After doing a site visit and looking at the King's Transit liability concerns and the configuration of the driveway, property, and vehicles, they are no longer interested. King's Transit is not interested in that location. So we're kind of basically back to the drawing board, and Stephen just wanted to give us the heads up that they would like something to address this situation or some direction. So whether we think on it some more or discuss or have other options that for him to look into.
I'd like us to think about it, and next week at our bylaw and policy meeting,
Yeah.
forward any suggestions.
Same here. The only question, though, did he get back to you on his discussions with Annapolis County as to whether they would be willing to move where the bus would go if there was an appropriate place to do so?
He indicated those discussions didn't. They determined early on that this location wasn't an option, and basically those discussions haven't happened.
So they didn't even ask to see what. So I guess the point is, though, there's no sense even looking for another place along that route if Annapolis County wasn't receptive to it. But I suppose he wanted a site to identify first?
That's it, to see just how far or what kind of impact, right?
Okay. I agree. I'd like to see us maybe have further discussions and give us a chance to think about it and discuss it at the bylaw policy meeting.
That's been a difficult file, right? It's such a small little thing and no easy solutions, eh?
Big file.
Well, big-
The next
a
is
small sliver of a big file.
The next is 8.4. When at the UNSM, it came forward that the Transportation and Infrastructure Renewal is looking at doing a central dispatch, laying off, getting about 48 people gone. My concern is central dispatch. I find we have a hard enough time in the winter when you're trying to get a hold of everybody and getting with the roads and when they can send out a truck. You suddenly go like our 911 calls and you're hearing horror stories now. And the horror story would be, for example,
I turned mine
I
on.
had at a meeting the other night, I had a lady or a gentleman, I've forgotten which, I'm just going to shut this off.
Linda's ringtone.
I love
Good,
it.
the bad, and the ugly. I suppose it's suitable for politics, I guess.
Reject.
So when you're talking about going to a central dispatch, do you mean to say that they wouldn't have anybody in the office up here at all?
Not as a dispatch, no. They
Well,
would be gone.
That model is not going to work. I mean, the people that work here are very familiar with
The roads.
and the riding and where they go, and there's no way in the world you're going to go to a central dispatch program and have the same level of service. I don't think so.
I don't either.
So, is this something that you said that publicly came up at the conference?
Yes, it did, and they were showing everyone because it's going to happen this year.
Ugh.
And they're trying to let the municipalities know, if the municipalities have concerns, they should bring it forward and write letters. If you don't, you just ignore it.
Well, I'll make a motion that we do write a letter to the Department of Transportation because, as it is, there's more than one reason. As it is, it's taken more jobs out of rural Nova Scotia.
Yes?
But secondly, the people that take those calls are very familiar with the area and the communities that they service, and I believe, I think it's fair to say that we would be extremely set back as far as the service delivery from TIR if they were to go to central dispatch.
I agree heartily. I mean, when they spoke to me, I was beside myself.
Who
I
spoke
said-
to you? That's what I was going to ask.
It was at the Trade Center.
Yeah.
It was at the QP
I wondered, okay.
one. It was bringing it up. I also had it brought to me at the other end of the booth by somebody else who wasn't even there. Did you know what was happening with TIR? And their concern was the central is who knows the roads. And my concern is I call and I may say, Wharf Road, Digby County. Well, I don't know about you, but the Wharf Road in Culloden, there's a Wharf Road down in Weymouth, there's a Wharf Road. Digby County's a big place.
Local knowledge is absolutely key for that department running well. You call them up, and half the time they know it better than I do. I just foresee myself spending 30 minutes, 40 minutes on a phone trying to communicate something that's, fairly pressing, and who knows if it even get anywhere. I spend way too much time trying to talk to the people I want to talk to as it is. It would be ridiculous.
I'll see if I don't know if I brought the paper. I had the paper, so I'm trying to find it, but
I would like to see a strongly worded letter on this one. It just seems backwards.
well, I'm hoping other municipalities get on the ball, because if everyone just ignores it, then it's going to happen.
But it sounds like I didn't hear anything about it, so maybe not all the municipalities don't know about it.
Did you go over and talk to anybody at the trade show?
I was wandering around the trade show, but nobody was like, hey, local mall or the TIR's doing this. No,
I guess,
didn't hear that.
but in fairness to that, to Councillor Tudor, did this not come from this didn't come from the UNSM then, I take it?
It was at the trade show.
But
And then there was counselors all over talking about it.
okay.
And the dispatch is going to happen.
Let's go to UNSM then, too, huh?
Well, yeah, the UNSM should be sending out something to the municipalities, I would hope.
I hope so.
So,
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary-minded, motion carried. The next is the CAO report.
No.
Oh,
ICOE.
can you
Oh,
tell
update.
me a little
sorry.
bit about that so I
Oh,
can
I
be
just
all
heard-
impressed?
ICOE, we attended 4 days?
3 days.
3 days of intensive meeting with people. Some of the people got to come down and visit with Terry. We have others that are looking at coming. We got the opportunity to speak to the Scottish delegation. I got to speak to the French delegation. I got to speak to several people because then I went to work a booth for the for us. It was nonstop, and I was totally exhausted. I know Jimmy. We worked in 3 teams, and then as individuals. And I know Jimmy and them had certainly different meetings than I did. I'm going to let him talk in a second. Between the Taste of Nova Scotia happening and people coming over and getting to talk to the different delegations, you know, and how excited they are. Digby we were at the forefront at that conference. We were at the forefront. I mean, you know, oh, Digby, you know, it was really good. I mean, Jeff did an excellent job there. He didn't waste his time.
I read one of his, I read his quote in the Chronicle Herald. Actually, I read everything 2-3 times last night for a couple hours, and I just got just so pleased with everything. I was just overwhelmed. Almost wrote something on Facebook, but I thought, no, don't do anything.
So now I'm going to let Jimmy talk, and then I'm going to ask Jeff to speak.
Well, prior to us even going there, Terry had people here, had a company here from France, and then on the Friday, there were people back here from France, and other people. Very positive conference. Probably, it's fair to say, it's probably one of the best ones we've ever gone to, where you've walked away from the conference and felt like you've accomplished something. It wasn't to go there to go sit in the sessions. It was to go there to network. It was go there to sell Digby and to develop relationships with the different developers. And we had some positive meetings with Cherubini, with Irving, with Open Hydro. You know, we had some excellent business meetings, and we found out, if we haven't found out all the information yet, they're going to send us information to let us know what they're going to be looking for from us, like, you know, what they would need to, you know, to come to Digby to have a port that could service their needs. So I think we had a great team with the staff that we had, with Jeff and Terry and Dan and Pam. But one of the key things that I felt that we got out of this whole thing too was even how well the 3 units worked so well together on this, like with Claire and the town and ourselves. That was very, very positive. I believe that there's a bright future for this region when it comes to tidal energy. I mean, it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's still in the R&D stages, but it's going to happen, and I'd say in the next 4 to 7 years, you're probably going to see commercial ramp up. But it all depends on how the test turbines do when they put them in the water. And Open Hydro is hoping to have 2 in by next year. And there's other companies too. There's actually 4. There was 4 berth holders going into the conference. At the conference, the Minister of Energy announced a 5th berth holder. So they've opened the door up for more companies to come on board. And I believe between the team that we had there of 9 people, we probably talked to probably everybody that we could possibly reach out to that we needed to talk to during that 3-day period.
Jeff?
Jimmy and Linda have covered a lot of the highlights. I would say 2 things. To pick up on what Jimmy said, that the conferences, I've been lucky in my past role at the Wharf to have attended a lot of the tidal conferences like Jimmy has. And in the initial years, it was talking about getting that single unit in the water and testing it. And while that's still a stage we need to move through, most of the companies, or a lot of the companies, are focused now. They're talking commercialization. They're focused at making the plans for putting the next 5 to 20 to some talking up in the hundreds. Those are the planning stages some of these companies are at. So that's really exciting. The other thing that was exciting, and I think like Jimmy and Linda both said, that this conference was the largest we've gone to, but the work we've done over the past couple of years to kind of brand Digby, that we're open for this business, it was evident that work has come to fruition. We were highly recognized. I don't think, I'm going to guess that we were recognized. Any meeting we went to, people had heard about us, stopping in the booth. The message that we're out there, that we're willing to work with the developers, that message is certainly loud and clear.
Wow, what a bunch of great news, you know. There's the boat, the 101, the title. It's just an avalanche of positive for our area, and maybe I'm stepping out saying this, but I think it has all to do with everybody working together. What a fantastic team. Really, people setting aside their differences and working for the betterment of the whole area. Wow, I'm just so pleased to see how things are going.
I actually don't feel there's a lot of differences when it comes to the 3 units.
Now, our 3 units work very well. We're very well in sync with each another. I think the next steps for us right now is to ratify this energy authority with Claire in the town. And I think when we have our council meeting, we'll have that done on our end anyway. I know that Mike Cashew is meeting with Clare Council on Wednesday night.
And we have our,
Are you going to go to that one and not go to the PAC?
oh, I have to go to PAC. I mean, we have to, there's times you have to look at your unit too. We will have staff there.
I'm going to attend that Wednesday night too.
Where's there? You,
Yeah.
no, you're on the PAC as well.
We have, the PAC.
We'll have people there. Like
Yeah.
All right, good, good, good.
That's already been discussed.
I'd like to see a
with
share.
Claire. Yeah, that was already
Okay.
discussed, and they already know that there are some of us that just can't attend because of the PAC.
There is one
We have to
thing.
move on.
Yeah, talking to the warden from Clare, he'd like to see us maybe in conjunction, maybe have the same motion that or relatively closely the same motion, and then once this is ratified, that we work together on a communication piece. Maybe we would have Peter help us
I
on
would
something
hope
like
so.
that.
That's what we have Peter for.
Right. So I know that the warden would. That's the direction he'd like to see us look at too. So, but no, I mean everything was positive. I mean there was nothing negative about this past week, and with that conference, and the press, like I said, Digby got a lot of press at that conference, and everybody, when you say you're from Digby, they actually know where you're coming from, where you are, the people that are there. And when the minister in his opening comments even referred to Digby, that goes a long way too.
Yeah, and even at the municipal meeting, the conference that the others of us went to, everybody was Digby this, Digby that, and sure felt good. And when I told everybody, it's all about working together and everybody being on the same page and cooperating. The benefits are amazing for that approach.
It is, very much so. Okay, any other comments? The other thing I'd just like to hear is some of the highlights at council, not tonight, on the UNSM, if anyone wanted to bring anything further from some of the resolutions or anything that you thought was, important for us.
I got one, but I'll tell you then.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's where it should be, is at council. I have no problem doing it tonight, and,
I was just it was like Christmas morning, I was able to push it ahead a little bit, I wanted to hear.
no. Christmas morning is in a week or two, and you were being a greedy little boy who wanted it now.
But it's also pleasant.
Yes, it is. So now you can't have as much on Christmas Day.
Oh, no.
Okay. On November the 12th, 6 o'clock, we'll have our planning advisory. That's Gregory Adams and Tudor. Our November the 17th is our bylaw and policy. And it says presentation. Is there someone going to be there?
Electric car.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
Who is?
Electric car. On November 24th, we have our council meeting. December the 1st is bylaw and policy, and on December the 8th, we'll have committee of the whole. We will have no further meetings on Mondays for December 15th, 22nd, and 29th. Now, on saying that, the CAO update is here. I didn't see any really requests from her at this time, just updates.
I have a question
Yes, sir?
on the CL. On the welcoming committee, I noticed that the Board of Trade is not going to take that on as a project.
I
And
have
it
not
says
been,
issues have to be discussed at next shared services, so it's coming back to us, is it?
What's this
Yeah,
one?
that's going to come back to Shared Services Committee.
The
and-
welcoming committee.
for the welcoming committee, but also I saw in the local paper here just recently that the province has now started to fund the Immigration Navigator program as well, and Jill Balzer.
Good.
Jill Balzer was hired to provide that. They're doing it through the YMCA's, so it all across the province. So I'd like to, I think for the next Shared Services Committee meeting, to try to ask if Jill could attend to talk about how we can work together on a welcoming committee slash, working with immigration for the area.
I'd like to see council hear that, Jimmy.
Okay.
I have no problem with shared services, but I think that's something that pertains to the whole council.
Well, why don't we have a joint council meeting to talk about it?
That would make
That'd be
most
best.
sense.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
we
found
haven't met
the
for a while.
immigration piece very
Yeah.
informative.
Yeah,
at
we
the
haven't
UNSF.
had a joint meeting.
Well,
in a
that could be
while.
on the agenda for a joint council meeting.
So do you want to put that down?
Mhm.
And
Maybe.
we should actually be looking at when we're going to have one. I
Yeah.
think that's something we should be doing, like, by February.
Yeah.
So, look at a February date. for joint council.
January or February, could be in January too.
Towards the end, yeah.
Yeah.
Most people don't want to do too much the first
Week.
week or so.
Well,
I don't mind, I'll do anything the first day.
Yeah. But it would be
Well,
good.
we will be doing something the first day.
What do you have of this for?
New Year's
Day
Eve
levy.
levy.
Sorry, I'm gonna go to the island one. I really get upset, but if I come up here, I'll meet exactly 0 constituents. I go down there, I meet 300.
So sad, too bad for you.
Yeah. But I might come up for some carrots.
You're
and
not
then I'll come
allowed.
back.
No,
Well, why don't you
don't
have
want-
one down there?
Carrot run.
He does have one down there,
We have the big one at the.
The Legion?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a big deal.
and he should
Yeah.
go down to that, we know
Yeah.
that.
So can we ask staff to maybe try
Come
to
up with
set
some
up
dates
a
for-
joint council
For
meeting
January,
for
February.
the first of the new year, and for example, one item on the agenda could be talking about a welcome committee and inviting the immigration navigator to attend.
The other thing I'd like to see on the agenda is how we are doing with our DDA. I think sometimes just
Mhm.
we hit it, we know it, but not
Yeah,
everybody
that's-
hears it.
A third thing I think we need to talk about too is the expansion of the transfer station.
Yes, oh, definitely.
So we should probably have that on the agenda.
And discuss,
Second.
I think we should also be looking at our doctor situation on that position,
Oh, no, don't tell me.
What?
our doctors.
Something happened again?
Of course not.
Oh. Sorry.
Can't
Loudly
tell you.
sigh, that was
Oh,
in
we
the
gotta get
list.
the Medibus back.
I think it should be there.
I have to go to the
Okay.
doctor and- yeah.
That's just, if anyone else has other ideas that we need for the joint
I
meeting,
needed a doctor.
and,
I'll write down, think about
Those are
it.
some suggestions for agenda items, and then
Yeah.
the town would probably have some too.
they
so-
should have some. And it's probably gonna be on a Monday, so, we will take one of our bylaw policy meetings and use it for that. We're flexible on Mondays. Okay, the next is departmental reports. Has anyone got any questions on the department reports? Updates from previous action, and then capital project update. Any questions? Hearing none, we will go forward. The next is correspondence. CUPW, upcoming UNSM conference, and Nova Scotia Department of Justice new location. It has moved in Halifax. And if there is nothing else, is there any questions from the gallery?